This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. Through the closed door of her office, we can hear Europa screaming in frustration. Her hostile takeover of the Elbonian economy failed at the last moment. But my strategy was perfect, she yells. And, there's the shattering sound of yet another light bulb smashing against the door. On the bright side, now we have an excuse to buy new energy-saving LED bulbs. Europa's strategy may have been perfect, but she spent so long perfecting it that by the time she was ready to execute, and I do mean that literally, Elbonia had decided to dissolve itself and reform as the people's enlightened state of certitude. Now, I can't pretend to understand the political ramifications, but I sure know that a bit less planning and a bit more action on Europa's part would have gotten her everything she wants. Perfection, like magic, comes with a price. This is a common problem. We want things to be perfect, and indeed, we may achieve that. We produce the perfect product. We plan the perfect plan. We pen the perfect poem. But when we're done, we aren't happy because it's late, or we spent too much money, or our aspirational schmoopy-to-be got tired of waiting for us to find a rhyme for locksmith and ran off with another suitor whose poetry was free verse. We achieved the perfection we wanted, but we did it in a way that made those outcomes less than perfect. That's because we defined perfect imperfectly. We didn't do what was needed to set the right standards for perfect. Defining perfect means including standards for the goal, but it also requires including standards for the process. Use experience to choose process standards. Before defining the perfect process for any task, you need to identify what made the current outcome less than perfect. If the problem is that it was late, then you care about the calendar and deadlines. If you spent too much money, the problem is not meeting your budget. And if people aren't having enough fun, you need to attend to morale. Deadlines, budget, and morale are process standards. They're measurements not of the final product itself, but of the process you go through to get to that product. Whether a product is a car engine, a website, or a marketing report, they can be delivered on time, on budget, with high morale, or not. Process measures measure how you do the work. There are plenty of other process measures, like how much overwork was needed, how are the team dynamics, how much learning did the team do, and so on. Europa is upset because even though her plan was perfect, her timing wasn't. It's the process measurement of schedule that's vexing her. Don't you just love the word vexing? I do. A girl's gotta have standards, and so do you. Once you know which process measures are the problem, choose standards for them. Ask yourself, what does perfect mean? Where can the process be more relaxed, and where does the task need to get done exactly right? Your schedule may be flexible, where things only need to happen near the deadlines they were assigned. Maybe money is tight and you have to be right on budget. These are the process standards you need for the project to go smoothly. Your process standards are what's been missing from your definition of perfect. Europa's perfect process forgot to take into account the Elbonian elections, so that becomes her standard for scheduling. She doesn't need a standard for spending because, well, let's just say that the $1.4 trillion that vanished from the world's economy in 2008 didn't vanish completely. Add the standards to your scope. After choosing your standards, add them to the project's scope. Make your process standards part of your definition of perfect. Europa's plans for Elbonia now include the outcome, have complete control of Elbonian political and economic systems, as well as the process standard, a month before the elections having spent no more than $5,000 on mind-controlling SIM cards. If your habit has been to obsess about the outcomes and not the process, write down your full definition of perfect, including the process measures, and put it where you can see it, often. Just intending to do this isn't enough. Keep reminding yourself that perfect takes those process measures into account. You can even set reminders for yourself to train yourself to have your new definition of perfect. If you have a daily check-in buddy, and there is a link to my episode about how you pull together daily check-in buddies in this episode's transcript, add to your daily check-in list, did I do my best to make process measures part of my definition of perfect? It's everyone's prerogative to change their mind. Just because you set standards doesn't mean you need to keep them. Recalibrate when you need to. Check on your process measures at your weekly status meetings. Make sure that everyone agrees that the process is going well. Each week, Europa can make sure that she still believes that schedule is paramount and that budget doesn't matter. If she needs to revise, she can. But she's always reminded that perfect includes the process as well as the outcome. You want your project perfect too. To do it, add your process, identify which parts of the process are important, and define what perfect means for those. Define perfect in terms of what you produce and how you produce it. Define perfect in terms of what you produce and how you produce it. Write down your definition of perfect and check it regularly to retrain your perfectionism appropriately. Europa said that she'll be gone for the next 2 weeks on an overseas trip. Something about elections in Albania, whatever it is. She seems to think it's critically important. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go sweep up the broken light bulbs covering her office floor. I'm Steve Robbins. Email questions to getitdone@quickanddirtytips.com and follow Get It Done Guy on Twitter and Facebook. I run webinars and other programs to help people be extraordinarily productive and build extraordinary careers. If you want to know more, visit steverrobbins.com. That's SteverRobbins.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.